Hi, this is Les Levine, the self-proclaimed voice of truth and reason in Ohio sports. The NHL has tossed out the first salvo by announcing they will forego the rest of the regular season and go directly to the playoffs if they're given the go-ahead to play, although I don't know how they're going to resolve the USA-Canada travel problem. Basketball, baseball, and football, they're just throwing things up against the wall, hoping it'll stick. It's possible the four sports will have four different ways to return to action. And you know what? That's okay with me. I think I've already seen every Law and Order Special Victims Unit, at least twice. Andy Baskin is here. More Sports and Les Levine is on the air. From the worldwide headquarters of More Sports and Les Levine, it's a Tuesday night. Good evening, everyone. Welcome once again to More Sports and Les Levine into its 24th consecutive year, seen exclusively powered by cleveland.com. Andy Baskin is powered by Andy Baskin from 92.3 The Fan. He's with us tonight. Bud Shaw is on assignment. Andy, how are you?
I'm good. I just want to thank my sponsor, Andy Baskin, and all my other Andy Baskin sponsors.
All right. Well, good night, everybody. All right, Andy Baskin, 92.3 The Fan, Baskin and Phelps. Lots to talk about because soon there will be lots to talk about. NHL, as I mentioned in the opening, throws out the first salvo. If they're going to play, they're going to play right into the playoffs. Although almost every team's in the playoffs anyway.
That's a good point. I'm looking forward to seeing if and when the NHL starts here. Today was a big day for the NHL as far as laying out a plan, wanting to come back. Sounds like we're looking at middle of July. They have these phases they're all in step with. They're going to have two hub cities, and I really hope Columbus is one of them. It sounded like originally they could be one, then it sounded like they were out, and now it sounds like they're just kind of hanging around. I don't know that it's going to happen, but man, I would love for it to.
What are they waiting for? Just to see location?
I think Gary Bettman they maybe were taking. I mean, they might still be taking bids from cities, final bids. Trying to figure out. Vegas is one of those spots. I've heard Vancouver. There are plenty of different places that could host it. I think Columbus would be an excellent city to host a hub for the NHL because they have so many things right there that they can use. And it looks like they're going to bring 12 teams in. I think it's 12 teams. If they bring 24 in for the playoffs, you don't have to play every game at the same site. They can play multiple games at the same time. You could use the Schottenstein Center and Nationwide Arena, as well as Ohio State's other rink at St. John Arena. You've got practice rinks all around town if they want to use that in Columbus. So Columbus is well equipped. And I didn't even talk about the Ice House, which is attached to Nationwide Arena, where they have, decent, not that seating matters because they won't be doing that, but it's a good looking place for television as far as wanting to play games too. So they have multiple rinks in Columbus. They could pull this off it.
All right, the NBA, in conjunction with the NBA's Players Association, is engaged in exploratory conversations with Walt Disney World about restarting the season in late July at Disney's ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex as a single site as the NBA campus for games, practices, and housing. MLB, they're still talking about the 82-game schedule, which would include an expanded roster, universal DH, limited regional travel, and a July start. No fans in the ballpark, at least at the beginning. Owners have proposed a 50-50 revenue split, and the MLB's association director, Tony Clark, shot that down as a non-starter. The NFL, there's no formal announcement, but it looks like they're just going on as if season is going to take place when it's going to take place. So they're all taking four different, part of it is the time of the year, but they're all taking four different ways of getting back into the season. The question I have, Andy, is who makes the final decision? The governors of the state, if talking about the U.S., the president, who makes that decision?
To me, it seems like it's on state authority, and Florida seems poised to be ready to roll. Arizona does too. So, excuse me, those have been the two states that have kind of led the way as far as professional sports are concerned. So, the interesting question becomes international travel, and I think they cleared a major bump the other day with Homeland Security on that. So, that's the key is, you take the NHL, even even the NBA, if you go to sites, that's not a problem because Toronto, the NHL might be wanting to have some of the games in Canada, so they'd have to figure that out. I would think that if Canada felt like it was safe for they had testing, that they would welcome a host city north of the border too.
There was a little sports over the weekend on TV. Did you watch any of it, or what did you watch?
I watched a little bit of golf. I listened to golf on the radio, which I thought was fascinating because it was a little hard to hear because of the rain. But I really, there was a lot of funny things that happened. Tom Brady having his pants split and making that great shot, and then turning around and telling Charles Barkley to be quiet. I really enjoyed Phil Mickelson breaking down putts and sizing up the game and explaining the game as they were playing. I thought that was worth the money alone, which was free. So that's the best part.
Brady, of course, proved the theory of why you take two pair of pants when you play golf in case you get a hole in one. 216-575-0403 is the number to call. You can email us during the show at reallesslevine@gmail.com. I've been using that for 50 years, and I finally got a laugh out of it.
Finally.
Thank you.
It was so less Levine, I can't even begin to tell you.
So did you watch? Well, the Brady was not very good for the front nine, except for that one shot, which wasn't too bad.
I mean, I have trouble playing normally, so imagine trying to play in rain and wearing rain gloves. I mean, and you're asking amateurs to do that. I don't know how you could expect Tom Brady to be, like a PGA Tour member when you're asking him to play with rain gloves on. So,
well, forget the rain gloves. You got Tiger Woods over here and Phil Mickelson over there. How tough is that?
Right.
I wonder. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, is it harder to play football in front of, 80,000 screaming fans, or is it harder to play golf in front of 10,000 silent fans? Like mentally, you got to be built for that. I
think the football players don't even notice that there's 60,000 people there. I don't think. I think you do notice if you're saying, all right, take your golf clubs out. You're paired up with Mr. Mickelson and you're paired up with Mr. Woods. I think that would be tough to overcome. And even as great as mentally as Peyton Manning and Tom Brady are, it still had to be tough. I'm sure they never got over the jitters of it, and they probably have never been nervous on a football field.
Yeah, except for maybe their first starts in college.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that's probably about.
Yeah, and the NFL.
You're right. Yeah, I agree with you, Les. That's a good point. I would be nervous that I would miss the ball. That would be that I would pull my head up at the last second with.
Yeah. Who hasn't done that?
I do it every round.
216-575-0403 is the number to call. Andy Baskin is with us, 92.3 The Fan, along with Jeff Phelps from 10 until 2. And we've got lots to talk about. We've got still some free agents out there with the Browns. Andy, you still thinking, without naming names, you still thinking the Browns are actively searching somebody?
Yeah, I absolutely believe that they're out there looking. I think Andrew Berry has proved that he is trying to improve this roster one day at a time, and we'll see if he's going to put his money where his mouth is, because there are some free agents in there that he could spend some money on to make this team better.
All right. Did you know the Ohio Lottery has paid out over $1 billion in winnings over the last 6 months? People are winning in record numbers, and they're winning throughout the whole state of Ohio. Play an Ohio Lottery instant lottery ticket and play it today. 216-575-0403 is the number to call. The Bleacher Report has some things to say about the Cleveland Browns. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/More Sports and Less Levine, with new content which is posted each and every day. We'll read your responses and put them out over the air. That'll come up a little bit later. More Sports and Less Levine continues exclusively, powered by cleveland.com.
Presque Isle Downs and Casino has sports betting. Use one of our 50 state-of-the-art Bet America kiosks to place your bet and watch your favorite games on one of our many HD televisions, or visit our sportsbook area. Only at Presque Isle Downs and Casino.
Do you like Ohio State football? Would you like to get information from me, Doug Lesmerises, about Ohio State football without having to look at my face? We have got the plan for you. Become an Ohio State text subscriber through cleveland.com. You send a text, 350-3315. What do you get? 2, 3, 4 texts right in your phone every day about Ohio State football. Inside information, polls, voting, all kinds of things. You can be on our podcast. We take tech subscriber questions on our Buckeye Talk podcast every week. If you really want to be involved with Ohio State football, in season or out of season, become an Ohio State tech subscriber from cleveland.com. Send a text to 614-350-3315. 14-day free trial. What do you have to lose? $3.99 a month after that. 614-350-3315. I'll see you in your phone.
As a kid growing up, my dream was to go to college, play baseball, and get a degree. Coming out of high school, I had two choices. I was accepted into a four-year university, but I decided to come to Tri-C after receiving a scholarship. I got my associate's degree at Tri-C. They transferred all my credits straight into Baldwin-Wallace, so I started at Baldwin-Wallace University as a junior. My name is Tyler Leonard, and I earned my first degree at Tri-C.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to ohiolottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students kindergarten through 12th grade can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine.
Birthdays for today, Darrell Evans, 1947. Also 1947, Pop Fly was born on this day. Dan Roundfield, Wesley Walker, Greg Lloyd, and Ben Zobrist, good utility man, all born on the 26th of May. 216-575-0403 is the number to call. Andy Baskin, 92.3 The Fan, is with us. Andy, Bleacher Report comes out with a whole bunch of names that we as Browns fans might be interested in. We'll throw out Cam Newton, Jadeveon Clowney, Larry Warford, Everson Griffin, as well as Devonta Freeman, Damon Harrison, Logan Ryan, and Eric Reed. That's the whole bunch that they threw out there. And they have some ideas of who would be good for the Cleveland Browns. Jadeveon Clowney, Warford, and Griffin. Any of those show excitement for you?
I'll take all three. I mean, if the Browns are spending money and they have money to do it and they can do it without affecting their future, knowing that they've got to pay Baker Mayfield, knowing they've got to pay Denzel Ward, and knowing they've got to pay Myles Garrett somewhere down the road. Clowney, if you bring him in, he'll become the highest paid guy on the team, even if he had $16 million a year. So, and he's probably looking at closer to 17, 18. I'd like to see Clowney on this team. I'll be honest with you.
But I think what we've proven, or the Browns have proven, is you can throw a whole bunch of names of good players, but can they fit on the field? And last year they didn't. That has to be something you can't just take big names and throw them out there and say, here's a football, start playing.
No, but Clowney can play if he's healthy. That's the thing. If Clowney can play because he's healthy, I'd love to see him be a part of this team for the next 2-3 years. And I just think the Browns find themselves in a spot where, do they feel like they can upgrade? Do they feel like they could be better than Olivia Vernon? Or could they be better with Clowney and Vernon at the same time? That's what they need to ask themselves. I do believe it. I do believe they have faith in Vernon, and that's why they're hanging on to him right now. But if you said to me $17 million or $18 million, $3 million more for Jadeveon Clowney, who's healthy, over Olivier Vernon, I'm switching out. But if you could have both for a year, I'll take it.
The Bleacher Report has an idea who the Browns should take. It says that he's a perfect fit. Damon Harrison, 31 years old, 6'3", 350. Played with the Giants, the Jets, and the Lions. He was an All-Pro in 2016. The only problem is, Andy, his nickname is Snacks. That's not a positive nickname to have.
What if they're healthy snacks? Did you ever think about it that way?
What are you guessing?
Are you an anti-snackite? Is that what you're trying to say?
6'3", 350. What are you thinking?
I think they're healthy snacks.
Damon Harrison.
I think he's having granola bars.
After a disappointing season, he managed a career low of 49 total tackles. Snacks was cut loose by the Lions. Last season's performance aside, though, Harrison has been an impact player for several years, and he comes from a throwback era when smaller, faster pass rushing tackles are the rage. He's a massive run stuffer, Before 2019, Harrison had topped 75 tackles in 3 of 4 seasons and was named to the first-team All-Pro in 2016. For teams in need of run-stopping power, Harrison is worth a look. Best fit, according to Bleacher Report, the Cleveland Browns for 2 reasons. Number one, they fielded the 3rd worst run defense last year, allowing 144 yards a game. The second reason is simple: money. They lead the league in salary cap space at $38.2 million. That's way more than enough to bring in Harrison as a short-term fix to bolster their floundering defense. Does Harrison do much for you?
I'll give you a third reason. He's got experience. You've got a lot of young linebackers on this Browns linebacking core that don't have experience. Well, Mac Wilson's going to be exciting to watch coming back for another season. So Tony Taki doesn't have a whole lot of time. Jacob Phillips is a guy they just drafted who's probably penciled in as a starter right now. BJ Goodson. Okay.
You just want some bodies, right?
I want some bodies that have played the game before. I don't have a problem with letting these guys mature, but you're expecting young guys to play hard for 17 weeks that may not know the full effect of a whole season. Mac Wilson gets it. He's starting to get it, but Taki doesn't. He didn't play for as many games as he played last year, he needs more experience, and Phillips is a guy that has none.
And they're coming off getting rid of 2 linebackers who could have helped.
Exactly.
216-575-0403 is the number to call. Andy Baskin, 92.3 The Fan, is with us. Northeast Factory Direct. They've got 3 locations: West 140th, Lakeland Boulevard in Euclid, as well as Freeway Drive. That's in Macedonia. And, of course, you got to go first to northeastfactorydirect.com. Alex has the 1-year full price guarantee. If you find something cheaper anywhere else, he'll refund the money immediately. We'll come on back in a moment. More sports and less Levine with Andy Baskin, exclusively on cleveland.com.
Celebrate Naturestone's 30-year anniversary with a free Naturestone floor. During 2020, we will be giving away 30 free floors to 30 very lucky customers to say thank you for making Naturestone the best concrete flooring solution for garages, basements, and more. Call or visit naturestone.com today to register to win, and we'll send you a copy of our new buyer's guide absolutely free. There's no purchase necessary. Winners will be chosen monthly. With over 30 million square feet installed for more than 60,000 customers, it's easy to see why I always say it's not just a floor. Wow, it's Naturestone.
There are tastes we remember. Every smell brings the happiness of times gone by. Experience this every time you walk into Gallucci's Italian Foods. Whether you need lunch on the go, a catered party, or that perfect blend of wine, meats, and cheeses, Gallucci's has exactly what you're looking for. Straight from Mama's Kitchen for old world traditions or original experiences. From the tastes you remember to new flavors you'll never forget, Gallucci's is a tasty branch of your family tree.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Time for a How Come Quickie. How come when there's a storm in the Atlantic Ocean, gas prices go up, but when it's beautiful out there, they stay the same? Hey, Andy, you told me you have a How Come Quickie. You want to do it now, or you want to wait till the audience?
It's amazing.
Go ahead.
I do. I absolutely want to do this. Okay, so Phelps keeps talking about the Spanish flu all the time, right?
Okay.
How come the Spanish flu is not gripe española?
Go on.
Are you speechless?
I'm speechless in two languages now.
That's right. So if it's gripe española, or if I'm saying
what is
right,
the literal translation of that? What is that?
Spanish flu.
Spanish flu? Espanol
yeah, so
flu?
Why do we call the Spanish flu the Spanish flu? Shouldn't it be called? How come it's not called gripe española? Or como
listen, that's,
yes.
No. Just quit while you're ahead, because that's the essence of a good quickie. If you don't have to explain it, if you have to explain it, it's not a good quickie.
Well, I was going to do the entire quickie in Spanish.
How would you say "How come quickie" in Spanish?
Como es que Como es que no se llama gripe española?
All right, we'll hold off on that. I'm writing a book, by the way.
In Spanish?
Well, the international edition might be in Spanish.
In Hebrew, would it go the other way?
Here's the working title for it. Give me a how come quickie. You think that'll work or not?
Get rid of gimme.
You don't like gimme?
No, I need just how come quickie.
I need a how come quickie. I'll work on that.
I need a how come quickie.
So if anybody
Depends
wants
what you're charging for it, Les.
It's projected to be 19 chapters. I'm through number 2. I'll never finish it. 216
Les, was that a good how come quickie? I was so excited about it.
Yeah, for bilingual people, yeah. I would think so. 216-575-0403. Andy Baskin is here. How do you say Andy Baskin in Spanish? Any idea?
Andres, that was my name in Spanish class. So,
all right.
Andres, Baskin.
All right, let's talk about some of the best duos besides Baskin and Phelps, the best duos on football teams. Look at what we have here. This also from Bleacher Report. They've got Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf from Seattle. They're number 5. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams from the Chargers. The Chargers aren't very good. They're number 4. Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, the Atlanta Falcons. Number 2, Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry of the Cleveland Browns. And number 1, Tom Brady will be throwing to Mike Evans and to Chris Godwin. They're going to put up some big numbers here. I do have one question about Tom Brady. If you watched, I don't know how much of it you watched. I know you did some of it. You listened on radio. Did he give you, like when you saw the Michael Jordan stuff, you saw what he did to his teammates, to his opponents, to everybody else. Did you get the sense of intimidation by Tom Brady and how much a factor that is in the huddle and on the practice field? I didn't sense it. Now, maybe it's because he's much older than when he could maybe do it better, but I didn't sense that personality that supposedly gives you that winnable way to play the game.
He is a quiet storm, I guess, compared to the other guys. Like Peyton Manning, I would think you got in the huddle, and if you messed up, he'd tear you apart. Sure. I don't know that Tom Brady. I mean, we've heard stories about Tom Brady getting mad or getting upset, but if the head coach is truly running everything, how upset can he get? If the head coach can walk out and yell and scream at the best player on the team, then the head coach has all the power. So
I get that.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think Tom Brady's ever. I really believe Tom Brady is a very, very good quarterback who was put in the right system at the right time with the right coach.
Yeah, I agree totally. All right, the best duos we mentioned, Beckham and Jarvis Landry are second. Here's what Bleacher Report had to say. The Browns didn't bust out of that long playout drought in 2019, but it's hard to pin said failure on Beckham and Landry. The two combined for 157 catches, 2,209 yards, and 10 touchdowns, despite poor quarterback play much of the season. The 27-year-old pals from LSU, they were born 3 weeks apart in the same state, have already gone over 900 yards in a combined 10 different seasons. Since the two came into the league in 2014, Beckham ranks 4th among qualified players with 86.8 receiving yards per game, while Landry is 4th with 564 receptions. Beckham's numbers have not been as shiny as late as they were earlier in his career, and Landry has never been a home run hitter, but the two remain young, wildly talented, and with a new offense in place following a tumultuous 2019 campaign under Freddie Kitchens, both should benefit from more comfort and familiarity in their second pro year together. Andy, let me ask you this. I have sensed here on this show, and I want to see if you and Jeff do on yours, and that is, it seems to me the blame last year was on a lot of people, a lot of different people, and now it looks like nationally it's settling in on Freddie Kitchens. Is that fair to say? Am I seeing it the right way? And do you agree that that's the way to do it?
Okay, you're not going to like me. I had to switch from Wi-Fi to cellular, so ask the question one more time.
All right, I'd like to do that.
Okay.
Of course, in the offseason, the original assessment of the Browns was mostly the fault went to a lot of people, including Baker Mayfield. It seems to me on this show, and I'm asking about your show with Jeff Phelps, are you hearing people coming around on Baker Mayfield saying, well, that wasn't as bad as we thought it was? The wide receivers are still a tremendous duo that have to be dealt with. And are you just sensing that the national people are coming around and blaming things on Freddie Kitchens as opposed to everybody else.
I agree that people are blaming Freddie, but I do think that Baker is being blamed for some things, and he won't have a whole lot to be blamed. Everything will be on him if it doesn't work this year. He's got, as you saw, two of the best wide receivers in the game. They brought him in a tight end. They brought him in a fullback. They've upgraded the offensive line. You have two of the best running backs in the league, tandem there. There's no excuses. And if the mistakes last year were on Baker and in between his ears, that's what the issue is going to be. I don't know that the slack for Baker is going to be he's not going to have that much slack this year. People are going to expect him to perform. And, yes, they think Freddie couldn't execute the team and didn't handle the team well, but I do think there's going to be pressure on Baker Mayfield this year to perform.
All right, if I tie your hands behind your back, what do you say? Does he have a good year, a bad year? Out of 10, what kind of year does he have, 10 being the highest?
7 gets you to 9 wins, gets you to the playoffs, and shows you that he belongs here for at least another year.
And you think, I think he either is here for a long time or he's not here at all. I don't think he does it. I don't think he's there for 1 year. I think when they settle on what they settle on this year, I think they'll make the decision on that. I don't see it going the way of a 1-year option.
I think that if he has a year where they win 9 games and he has shown that he is is he going to be Andy Dalton? Yeah, I think he can be Andy Dalton or better. How's that sound?
What's the number on Andy Dalton as being a good quarterback? 9? I mean, out of 10, a 7?
7. Yeah, I think that's fair.
And on that rating system, you'll say that's a good year for Baker? A 7?
Yeah, it's an improvement over last year. I think that's the key. I don't think we're going to see what we saw the first year out of him. I hope we do. But I just don't want it to be like, I need him to be almost as good as he was the first year. Because of the talent around him, and if the defense plays better than they did last year, then that will be an improvement. And that'll be enough to make Browns fans in the front office say, okay, we're sticking with this. You're right about the length, that it'll be longer, but he just needs to improve. That's the key. We need to know that Baker Mayfield can lead this team the way he did the first season he was out there. We need to make sure that his focus is on the field, that we're not worried about contracts of other players on the team, that we're not really worrying about commercials, that we're not worried about, ancillary things that will help him make money, but also will put him in a spot where he can be successful. So that's what we really need.
All right, he's also going to be playing under his third head coach.
Yeah, that's true. That's an issue. I think that's something he's going to have to learn.
216-575-0403. Email us during the show at reallesslevine@gmail.com. You can explore your interests and find a program at Tri-C that puts you on the path to a bright future. Tri-C offers more than 1,000 courses, over 150 career and technical programs. Go to tri-c.edu to find out more information. Andy Baskin and I return in a moment. Mike Massetta joins us. More Sports and Les Levine continues exclusively on cleveland.com.
My dream was to go to college, play baseball, and get a degree. Coming out of high school, I had 2 choices. I was accepted into a 4-year university, but I decided to come to Tri-C after receiving a scholarship. I got my associate's degree at Tri-C. They transferred all my credits straight into Baldwin-Wallace, so I started at Baldwin-Wallace University as a junior. My name is Tyler Leonard, and I earned my first degree at Tri-C.
Well, hello, everyone. Let me tell you a little bit about Browns Football Insider. For only $3.99 a month, you can get text sent right to your phone each day from me, Dan Lobby, Scott Pasco, and Ellis Williams. In addition to that, you'll receive a Football Insider newsletter every day with special things from us, things that you won't see anywhere else on the site. You'll get breaking news, analysis, features, film breakdown, and things like that. Texting us directly gives you a great chance to cut through the clutter of Facebook, Twitter, other social media, and avoid the trolls. Also, it's the only way to get your questions on the Orange and Brown Talk podcast. So why should you sign up? Try a 14-day free trial. You can cancel at any time. All it takes is one text, but you won't want to cancel. We have hundreds of subscribers join us over the last year. They love it and have stayed with us. We're seeing the Football Insider community grow every week. and it's only $3.99 a month, which is less than 14 cents a day. What I like most about Football Insider is the opportunity to connect with you one-on-one and really communicate with you. So how can you become a Football Insider? You can click on cleveland.com/Browns, the blue banner at the top of the page. Or easier yet, text me at 216-208-3965. Again, that's 216-208-3965.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes Smiley One Heating and Cooling. Find them at smiley1.com.
This date in sports history happened May 26, 1959. Harvey Haddix of the Pittsburgh Pirates throws a perfect game for 12 innings as the Pirates lose to the Milwaukee Braves by a score of 1-0. Joe Adcock hit what should have been a 3-run homer. There were 2 men on, but he passed up Hank Aaron on the base paths, so it was listed as a double, and the Pirates lost by a score of 1-0. 216-575-0403 is the number to call. Andy Baskin is with us. So is Mike Macetta. Michael, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well, Les. How are you tonight?
Say hi to Andy Baskin.
Hey, Andy. How are you?
Hi, you look good. Or you sound good, at least.
All right, now I've told you what to do, and you've done it. Now say, wow, it's Nature Stone.
Wow, it's Nature Stone.
Boy, he's good at it, Andy. He is really good. He's got a job for life just doing that.
Yes.
I just want to know what he's thinking.
All right. Mike, did you get a chance, or did the kids have a chance to watch some semblance of sports on TV over the weekend? And if you did you get the sense that it's not that far away from coming back?
Oh, yeah. I think baseball's around the corner, and I don't know what's going on with basketball, but football seems like they're full steam ahead. The golf outing was interesting. We did not watch that, but I heard some of the highlights. And it's amazing that Brady was able to get a hole-in-one and rip his pants all in the same shot, which I thought was pretty unique.
Well, it wasn't a hole-in-one. What was the par on that one? Was that a par? No, it wasn't a hole-in-one.
I know. He knocked it in from the pitch, right? Or from it wasn't off of a punt. He hit it with one of the irons.
Yeah, it was a par 4, and he got a 2 on it. Hey, I asked Andy this, Mike. Did you get? Well, you didn't see much of it, but I'm just wondering, in talking to people today, did you get a sense? I didn't get a sense that he's such a great leader. Now that's in golf, obviously, so that's different than football. But the personality didn't seem to go with it. What does go with it is the fact that the guy's a winner.
Well, yeah. Well, was he? I didn't watch the event. Was he on Woods' team or was he on Nicholson's?
No, he was
on Woods, right?
No. He was with Nicholson. Woods and
he was with Nicholson.
Peyton, together.
Yeah. So Woods and Peyton won that.
Yeah.
And that's right. Yeah. So. Yeah, no, he's got a long way to go to be a great leader and a winner on the golf course. That's for sure.
Hey, how tough do you think, both of you, Andy and Mike, with Brady moving on to a new team, and Andy, as we showed before, he's got a great set of wide receivers there. But how long do you think it'll take him to mesh with these guys? Are we talking about the shortened training camp? Are we talking about a couple exhibition games? Are we talking about the beginning, half the season? What are we talking about? Andy, we'll throw it at you first.
Yeah, I think part of it's going to be terminology and how they call plays. Gronk will clearly be on the same page with Tom Brady, but it'll be a matter of just getting to know the language. Does he have to learn a foreign language when he gets there? How close will the calls be to what he had in New England, and will they call things similar? Like, will they change the offense for Tom Brady, or will Tom Brady change the offense there? I do think, though, that if I was Mike, I would come up with a pair of Nature Stone underwear in case his pants split again. And that way, if they open, he would have Nature on one side and Stone on the other.
I like
Happy Gilmore, right? Just like Happy Gilmore.
Yes.
like it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right, so Mike, what do you think? Do you think it'll take a while, or he's just that good, or maybe we overrate what that combination is in the learning situation on getting together?
I'll be real honest with you, Les. In my opinion, I don't think they're going to get on the same page at all next year. I just don't. Tom Brady in the last few years in New England, while he did well, was a little bit masked in their play calling. He threw a lot of short dump off passes out of those 5 wides with the guys that sort of ran around across the middle. He was not a very productive downfield passer. He's an older guy. I just don't see that being. He lost his offensive coordinator. He lost his comfort zone in New England and his entire coaching staff. I don't see that being a match made in heaven like people may think it's going to be. I know Tampa Bay's got some talent, and they've got some good coaches over there, but I just don't see that working out. I really don't.
Who has a better? Who has a better season, Brady?
Oh, good.
Who has a better season, Brady with Tampa Bay or Belichick with what he's got left?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I would tell you, I think that Belichick will probably have the better season. I do. I think the Patriots will probably make the playoffs without Brady this year.
How about you, Andy?
I think Tampa is. I think Tampa. Look, I love Bruce Arians. I think he's a great coach. He's going to figure out a way to get things going. I think the offense in Tampa is better. Not the question will be the offensive line for both of those teams. Let's be honest. I mean, Brady made the offensive line look good at times last year in New England, and how much did the offensive line help out Brady in New England? So it's a give and take there. If there's going to be a failure in Tampa, it's going to be the offensive line breaking down because they can't be on the same page with Tom Brady. But the weapons that he has in Tampa will help him have a better season in Tampa Bay. That I think. I don't want to say New England's going to struggle, but Bill Belichick could be in for a mediocre year at best. Who's his quarterback?
Do you think that one of the reasons Brady chose to go to Tampa Bay is because the initials on his hat, TB, is the same as TB Tampa Bay?
No.
You don't think so?
No. It's where did Giselle want to go to? Happy wife, happy life. There's all your answers.
I would think where she wants to go would be anywhere she wants. She gets to go.
Right.
I don't think that's a major question. So, all right. Anything else on your mind, Michael?
Well, yeah. I mean, I compare this whole situation to when Brett Favre left Green Bay and went to Minnesota. But Brett Favre, I think, was a little bit younger when that all occurred, and he also had the downfield arm that Brady doesn't have anymore. I'm very skeptical about that move. I don't. There's a reason why Belichick was willing to let him go, and I don't see Belichick at his age being the kind of guy that would stick around in New England hoping for a draft pick type season.
Yeah,
he's out to win.
If it didn't happen,
no question about that.
If it didn't happen this year, it would have happened next year. So they figure let's move on and make the best of it. Mike, as always, great to talk to you. And wow, it's Nature's Song.
Hey, thanks, guys. Wow, it's Nature's Song.
There you go. Thanks, Michael. Mike Macetta.
Wow, I'm looking for those underwear. Just so you know, I want them out. Literally.
216-575-0403, Northeast Factory Direct, East, West, and South. They got them all. West 140th, Lakeland Boulevard in Euclid, and Freeway Drive. That's in Macedonia. And, of course, you want to go first to northeastfactorydirect.com. Sokolowski's University Inn, I'd like you to check out what they've got to say in their Facebook and their website. They'll give you the plans on what they've got going for returning to work, and hopefully that's very, very soon. We'll take a break. More sports from Les Levine continues, powered by cleveland.com.
Your home is your most important investment, and your basement is the go-to part of your home. It's your children's rec room. It's where your family and friends spend time together. It's much more than just a basement. Now is the perfect time to add beauty and value to your home with an authentic Nature Stone basement floor. And every Nature Stone floor comes with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty. For a limited time, get our exclusive mini pearl stone for as low as $2.99 a square foot plus installation. Schedule your free cost estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
When it comes to selling you a mattress, most retailers are handing you a line. A long line of extra steps that drive up costs and create confusion. At the Original Mattress Factory, we simplify the mattress shopping experience by building mattresses and box springs in our own local factories and selling them direct to you. It's short, sweet, and simply makes sense. So experience more than just the mattress store. Experience an original, the Original Mattress Factory.
Presque Isle Downs and Casino has sports betting. Use one of our 50 state-of-the-art Bet America kiosks to place your bet and watch your favorite games on one of our many HD televisions or visit our sportsbook area. Only at Presque Isle Downs and Casino.
Let's take a look at this date in Les Levine history, May 26, 1993. Carlos Martinez of the Indians hits a home run off the head of Jose Canseco. Les was at that game, and he's sure that Canseco did it twice in fielding practice before the game. I can't get over, Andy, when I see that tape, it's so hard to believe that the ball traveled that far after hitting him on the head.
It was pretty. I was actually at that game, too. I was sitting out in, where was I? I was out in left field with my buddies.
You agree that he did it twice in batting practice?
I didn't see that. We didn't get there too late. I was very young and probably inebriated at the time. I'll be honest with you.
Do you remember? You probably don't. You're too young. Back when I was young, the Indians used to give away the bullpen car on Friday nights. Are you aware of that?
You could take it home?
You could buy tickets, like raffle tickets, and they had the bullpen car that would go out behind left field or right field, bring the pitcher in, and at the end of the game they'd pull a number out of a hat or out of a box, and you got to take it home.
Wow. Did you see, I didn't see how much they got for it, but they were auctioning off the golf carts from the charity golf event over the weekend, the TB12, and that was pretty cool. I didn't see how much money they got for it at the end, but would you have bought one of those? Those look sweet.
Well, how much are we talking about here?
I don't know. I didn't see
$300 top. I'd have done it.
$100?
$300. But that's it.
$299. That's what I was looking for.
It's my final offer. All right,
you win.
Over the weekend, Andre Drummond did a very nice thing. He gave a $1,000 tip to a waitress that was in Florida. The only thing nicer is if he waited till he got to Cleveland. Do you have any memorable meetings with athletes before you got into the business that would qualify like that?
But I have a good tip story, much like that.
Go ahead.
So I was in, and I've told him this story since then. I was in New York. Actually, I was in Jersey. I was in Newark. And it was when I was doing the Indians pre- and post-game show with our good friend Bill Needle and Jeff Phelps at the time. Rest his soul, Bill Needle. And I was flying back to meet up with the Indians in Tampa. And I left Newark. And as I went there, I went to a restaurant that was inside the airport. And I sat down. I was at this table. I was looking this way. And I turned over my shoulder and I looked. In a booth is Drew Carey. And I was like, whoa. But I was like, I don't want to bother him. He's eating. And so I had a bag and it said Cleveland Indians on it. And so I kind of tilted it towards Drew, hoping that if he looked that way, he'd be like, oh, Indians, maybe
you just kind of slid it in his eyes.
I angled it so that if he looked one way, he would see the Indians thing.
Right, okay.
He didn't. So now I'm waiting for him. He gets up at the end. The guy had a grilled cheese sandwich, and that was it, like a Coke and a grilled cheese sandwich. And he gets up, and I'm still sitting there. I was like, hey, Drew. How you doing? I'm Andy. I'm a big fan. I host the Indians pregame show on TV. And he's like, oh, yeah. And I go, hey, I just want to say thank you for all you do for Cleveland, and you make us proud. And he goes, well, that's like we talked about the Indians for a second, and then he took off. And I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. I got to meet Drew Carey. And all of a sudden, the waitress walks back over to the table, and she looks at the table. She looks up. She looks at the table. She looks up, and then in front of the entire restaurant, which was packed, she says, oh, no, he didn't. And I was like, oh, my God. Drew Carey just stiffed the waitress. That's what I thought at first. Because she was like, oh, no, Drew Carey didn't. And I was like, oh, my God. And she goes, Drew Carey just left me a $100 tip on an $11 bill.
Nice.
And the whole place got up and started clapping and cheering. It was so cool.
All right, before she said that, you should have jumped in and said, yeah, I do that all the time for my waitresses. You should have taken the credit for it.
I just want you to know I did it. I wanted to make Drew look good because I'm from Cleveland.
All right, so here we go with some of the responses. Glenn Berger says, well, I had two buddies who were friends with future Hall of Fame defensive back of the Steelers, Jack Butler. The three of us got on a ride on the Steelers bus from downtown, from the hotel to the old stadium. I saw Bobby Lane, Tom the Bomb Tracy, and others. I was only in 8th grade. It was a neat experience. The Browns lost that day. Larry Pantages says, chasing autographs in the stadium concourse after a rained-out game in the 60s. I wedged myself through a door, ended up right next to the locker room door. The guy next to me would have to come out and step on me to get through. The door opens up, and it's Daddy Leon Wagner. Daddy Wags. He looks down, he reached out and hoisted me over his head. Do you want an autograph, Sonny? He said. Yes, sir. He smiled, put me down, and he signed. Get your rags from Daddy Wags. Larry Pantages was so taken by that, he wound up being the sports editor of the Akron Beacon Journal. Andy Mead says, before the pandemic, I met Tito at Tribe Fest in February, used the photo on my Facebook and Twitter avatars. Getting the chance to meet a future Hall of Fame skipper and getting these photos taken with Francona is something I will treasure for a lifetime. Good answer.
Very cool.
Absolutely good answers. 216-575-0403. Growing up, Andy, what are your first remembrances of the Indians? The mid-'70s, maybe?
Yeah, I was. There was a raffle at Cleveland Heights High School, and I was, I don't think I was more than 10 or 11, and they were raising money for some baseball program, and my dad took me, and he bought me 2 raffle tickets at the end, and I got super lucky. I won 2 tickets to an Indians game, which turned out to be a doubleheader to see the Indians play the Twins, and it was a rain out. And I think it was the same year they had those red rain jackets with the 3 holes in the back of them. And I'll never forget that. And I also won a pair of Fred Bean's cleats that were sitting in our basement for forever. I won Fred Bean's shoes.
Did you know he was a bad pitcher when you won it?
I didn't care. They were red, and they were the Indians, and they had spikes.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it, that you and I, still of different generations, but still baseball fans, you forget, even though now you worry about winning championships and all that stuff. We didn't care about that, or I didn't care about it. I didn't even know they played in October if you qualified. We just loved going to the games. We didn't know that they were bad. We knew that on any given game that you went to, the Indians had a chance to win that game. If Sam McDowell was pitching or Louis Tiant, you weren't a bad baseball team.
One of my favorite moments when I got to travel with the Indians for, 6 years, was being in San Francisco the first time the Indians played the Giants in San Francisco. And before the game, I did an interview with Kuiper and Manning together, and I took a picture. And to me, I was like a kid in a candy store. I'm like, I'm here with Dwayne Kuiper and Rick Manning at the same time. This is amazing. And I could not tell you how many wins combined they had. Other than the fact that Kuiper had 1 home run, those guys were the Indians to me. They were what was important. Dwayne Kuiper, Marvell Blanks, John Lowenstein, Oscar Gamble. I mean, that to me, that's what made me a baseball fan. Just thinking about those guys. Boog Powell, who most people probably remember from the Orioles. To me, he was an Indians first baseman because I was young.
Same thing with Eddie Murray. Most people think of him
Eddie Murray
as an Oriole. 216-575-0403 if you want to get in for the last segment. Dennis Maniloff will be here tomorrow night. Mary Kay Cabot will be here on Thursday. We'll take a break. We'll come on back. Maybe we got some How Comes Quickies to check out. And either way, Andy and I will get through the last segment of the show. More sports and less Levine, seen exclusively right here, powered by cleveland.com.
Your home is your most important investment, and your garage is the entrance to your home. It's where your kids come in from school. It's where your family and friends gather together. It's much more than just a garage. Now is the perfect time to add beauty and value to your home with an authentic Nature Stone garage floor. And every Nature Stone floor comes with Russell's Promise, our true unconditional warranty. For a limited time, get our exclusive gray brown blend stone for as low as $2.99 a square foot plus installation. Schedule your free cost estimate easily online today at naturestone.com. It's not just a floor. Wow, it's Nature Stone.
There are tastes we remember. Every smell brings the happiness of times gone by. Experience this every time you walk into Gallucci's Italian Foods. Whether you need lunch on the go, a catered party, or that perfect blend of wine, meats, and cheeses, Gallucci's has exactly what you're looking for. Straight from Mama's kitchen for old world traditions or original experiences. From the tastes you remember to new flavors you'll never forget, Gallucci's is a tasty branch of your family tree.
The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education program recognizes role model students and teachers from across Ohio. Nominations can now be done completely online. To nominate a deserving teacher or student, go to ohiolottery.com. In the About section, find Partners in Education. There you will find links to the nomination forms. Students kindergarten through 12th grade can be academic all-stars. Teachers can be honored as a Teacher of the Month. The Ohio Lottery Partners in Education, where stars shine.
216-575-0403. Andy Baskin is with us. Hey, Andy, you know, we're scrimping a little like everywhere else. So when they bring in Quickies and other emails that come in, we now use it. This is behind the scenes. We're showing information. This is the rundown for the show, and now we use the other side of the paper is now, doesn't matter what it says. Now we use paper that has been recycled. This one, here's our rundown, and here's our recycled, and this originally dated on August 17th, 2004. It's a rundown for some show.
You'll know you've hit rock bottom when you have to recycle toilet paper. So,
well, I haven't gotten that far yet.
I hope not.
Here's some How Come Quickies. Chuck Simon sends in. This is not a quickie. This is just an email. Les, I don't think people mention enough what you said about Baker. This year he's playing for his 4th head coach and 4th offensive coordinator in just his 3rd year. That's not a roadmap to success. Keep up the good shows. I enjoy them as a source of Cleveland sports here in Florida. We appreciate that very much.
Very nice.
We go coast to coast. We get Florida, California, all kinds of stuff. All right, Big Ed has a couple of quickies. You want to discuss them after I read them?
Yes.
He's a little upset.
Do I grade them?
He's a little upset. He says, "How come my hands have consumed more alcohol than my mouth lately?"
That's good. 7, 8.
How come?
It's an 8.
Yeah, 8. Whatever you want. How come I'm wondering what happens if you get scared half to death twice?
8.4.
Yeah, 8.4 for Big Ed.
No. 8.43. Yes.
I have to take Mr. Gullible to task. You know, I just mentioned I'm compiling some quickies for a book as part of a book, and he can't possibly I can't. Mr. Gullible, you know number 3 here is not possible for me to use. Don't even try it anymore. You're going to get banned from the show, and to get banned from this show for How Come Quickies is something you'll have to live with the rest of your life. He says,
that's on your tombstone.
One that I'm going to let happen. I know what I'm going to have on my tombstone.
What's it going to say?
We'll be back after these messages. Mr. Gullible, I'll let you get this one. Through. How come the show about beavers last night was the best damn documentary ever? All right, that's okay, right?
That's
not great.
Good. That's good.
Well, you ought to see the 3rd one he's got. I'm not going that route.
Can't you clean it up?
No. This one is uncleanable. John Patrick.
You can't say a certain ethnic or anything like that?
This originally was heard in 2005. Mr. John Patrick says, how come I hate when I offer help to someone and they say yes? How many times, what percentage of times do you make an offer that you hope the answer is no? No, thank you. I appreciate it very much. This is maybe a Larry David question.
15%
15% of the time. So you're just saying it with no hopes. You're just assuming they're going to say, wow, what a nice offer by Andy Baskin, that famous radio guy.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. And then I give him the big goodbye.
What's that one? What's the big goodbye?
You didn't see the big goodbye? You go home and watch Curb from this season, and then you come
Oh,
back.
yeah. I thought you were talking about something else.
No,
I had to have a discussion, a learning session with my daughter when she was about 9. Somebody came up to me at an Indians game and wanted my autograph, and she started laughing at the guy. And I had to explain, this kid is probably 15, 16, and I had to explain that he worked up a lot of nerve to do that. You can't laugh at him like that. And then we both started laughing. It happens.
It happens. Yes.
Hey, that's not a famous person. That's my dad, for goodness sake.
Yeah,
All
what are you talking about? Who's that guy?
You got a couple of minutes. Spew.
Yeah.
Start talking. Start spreading the news.
Did you see what the Miami Dolphins are doing?
As far
They're
as
opening up a drive-in theater at Hard Rock Stadium. They can host 230 cars. You're going to drive right into the stadium. You can use your phone to order food. They're going to play movies and do classic games and have graduations there. I think it's interesting that these stadiums, especially minor league baseball stadiums now, are trying to find alternative uses for their stadiums for over the summer to get people in.
You know, I'm aware of an outdoor theater on way out Mayfield Road, almost at Sandridge Golf Club. I'm aware of that. How are these coming out of nowhere? I didn't think there were any still left, and all of a sudden they're popping up out of nowhere. Did they never get taken down?
No, that Mayfield one's always been there. There's one, I think, in Ravenna, as far as the east side. So those are the two I know about, the two that we've gone to. In fact, I went to the one in Mayfield on Friday, and they were sold out. We got there late. Yeah, so, we always, our kids love going there. I've always thought that was fun. I believe I saw my very first movie ever there when I was a kid, Mary Poppins. But drive-ins are great when you have little kids, because if you still want to go see a movie, you don't have to worry about them running up and down. I can't tell you, Tropical Storm was a nightmare to take the movies. Tropical Storm is what we call my son, because I'm Hurricane. And our son, I should say. I want to make sure I say that right. And, he used to run up and down the aisles during the movies, and it would just drive me nuts. So that's why drive-ins, I think, are great. And the Mayfield drive-in's great. I think the big thing there is that people always want to bring in their own food. And, in the past, they would ask you to pay, you'd have to pay a fee. You'd get like a voucher. I forgot what they call it, but it's like a fee that, hey, well, just be honest. If you're going to bring your own food in, just pay for this little stipend,
Sure.
like $5-10. So, I did that because I wanted to support it, because I just think drive-in movie theaters are pretty cool.
All right. Andy Baskin, as always, thank you very much. We can hear you tomorrow morning from 10 until 2 with Jeff Phelps on 92.3 The Fan. You still...
I will be doing doing an all-Spanish segment tomorrow of How Come Quickies.
See. How long have you been separate, doing the show from separate locations? Separate counties? 3 months?
2.5 months now.
Any projection on when you're going to come back?
I would probably say in the next couple of weeks. I will tell you the 8-second commute from the bedroom to the basement's been pretty nice.
And you're telling me too much. I got to go. I'll see you soon. Thanks to Andy Baskin, 92.3 The Fan. Dennis Maniloff tomorrow. Mary Kay Cabot on Thursday. Of all the shows I've ever done, this was the most recent.